From Anshe Sfard Beth El Emeth Congregation, it's time to take 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Parshat Lech Lecha, Shooing Away the Bird. I noticed this year that there's a very strange part of the Brit Bein HaBetarim, one of the most monumental events in Jewish history, the covenant of the parts, where Avraham is told to separate two parts of the animals, and God and Avraham pass through, and with that they cut a deal. There's an expression, to cut a deal, to make a covenant, and with this they seal the covenant of God and the Jewish people. And then a very strange verse: the bird came on the pieces of the cut meat, and Avraham shooed them away. What is this? Do we care that there were birds? Okay, he's trying to make a covenant. It's kind of strange. In the middle of a covenant with God, the bird came and he had to shoot them away. But why record it? A lot of things probably happened. Maybe he dropped his pencil. We don't need to know everything. So what's going on? So we look in the Midrashim. Midrash Rabbah says that even if the Jewish people fall prey to assimilation, to spiritual death, Avraham bayashevotam, Avraham restores them. Mashiach will restore the Jews to tshuva. Perhaps bayashevotam Avraham, like ruach nashva, it has to do with the spirit. Perhaps even if we are dead one day, that one day the Jewish people are having lots of troubles, Avraham will revive the dead and they will be restored. The medieval commentators have other ideas. Ramban says that the hint here is that nations will come to destroy the sacrifices. In other words, just like Avram's trying to bring a sacrifice, and then something interferes, so too the Jews will be interfered. Maybe he means the two destructions of a temple: the destruction of the first temple, the second temple, the Samaritans who tried to destroy the second temple before it was even built. Maybe that's what he's referring to. But in any event, Avraham will chase them away. The Radak says a different hint. Ramaz lo bazeh ki b'chol dor v'dor umot ha'olam omdim aleinu l'chalotinu v'akadosh baruch hu matzilenu miyadam. This hints to that which we find in the Haggadah, that in every generation they try to destroy us, but God arises and saves them from their hands. Why? In the merit of Avraham. Through Avraham, and he saves everyone. This reminds us of the notion that if someone is not sure if he should go to heaven or someplace else, if he has a bris milah, which is connected with Avraham, that saves them, because Avraham always saves everybody at the last minute. But finally, this is a strange interpretation of the Chizkuni. This year, I'd like to focus more on the Chizkuni. He says, "Le'inyan chashivuto shel Avraham nichtav mikra zeh." Says, you know why it says this? To show what a chashuv person, what an important and good person Avraham was. What's so important about shooing a bird? He says, well, after all, birds like to come and eat meat. So that's what they do. And perhaps, as the Radak says, maybe they're birds of prey. I eat. So Avraham had to work hard. You're shooing away the birds. You ever have find sometimes the dogs will come and they want to eat something, and it's hard to get rid of them. So it was a lot of Torah. And to get them away, this was very difficult. So even as Avraham is making this covenant, God put a little obstacle in his way and says, what are you going to do? Will you respect this covenant? He said, well, let him eat it, so what? So he said, no, this is a sacrifice. Sacrifice cannot be eaten by these birds. This is not just dead meat. This is a sacrifice. This is a covenant with God and Jewish people. This is the most important thing ever happened in world history. We have to do something about it. So it's an interesting idea that the Chizkuni says that shows how important Avraham was. What a great guy he was. Why? Because no matter how much trouble it is, he did what it needed to do to get it done. Even as we're making great covenants and we're trying to save the world, sometimes there's a small interference that comes up. And how you deal with that could be the most significant thing that you did altogether. Thank you for joining us here at the Anshe Sfard Beth El Emeth for a discussion of the Parsha. Join us each week for a discussion of the Parsha and the holidays. And thanks to Jason Lefkowitz, our producer. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein. To learn more, visit asb.org.